Hello, welcome to Cerulean Arts Gallery. Tonight we're speaking with Caroline Furr in conjunction with her Cerulean Arts Collective Exhibition, which is on through June the 30th. Hello, Caroline.
Hi, Michael. How are you?
Fine, thanks for being here. So tell
I
us
tell
about
you,
your new show.
on this show, I was thinking wood, fences, and birds. I don't approach all shows that way, but I saw the work around me and I saw what I was doing, and um, then I saw birds and fences and wood. Here's a fence. This is called forest floor. I always thought the forest floor was kind of funny, but in reality, there really is a forest floor. This is a heavily collaged piece. The piece next to it is called Art, Then Death. And it's a little bit of a rip off on Christo's Valley curtains and those big red curtains he'd throw up between caverns and things. Then I didn't paint it red. I thought that would be going too far. You see the fence there, and in the lower left, you can't really see it, I don't believe, in this is a gigantic, oh, there it is, a gigantic dead bug. That's the death part. Titles are very important in my work. I've never not titled something because when I'm making something, I'm thinking of a story and what's happening within this playhouse, if you want to call it that. Does that make sense, Michael?
Did the titles come before, during, or after?
They sometimes before, sometimes it takes me a while to get into something and see what it's saying. The close-up of this piece, I've always got a lot of little hidden people and imagery and symbols, and you don't really see this very far off. But then this close up, you begin to say to yourself, the viewer, am I seeing a face? Is that a person? Oh, look, that is a bird. So, yes, sometimes I'll even, if I have a good title, I'll stick with that and make the image more fit. I don't do long pieces anymore, and I don't do large pieces anymore. There's another face right there. I've switched off to this smaller scale work, and changing scale for anyone who does this or is an artist knows that that's a very tricky thing. It sometimes takes a while to get into a new scale. It's much more intimate. It's much more fine. You have to throw away all those 4-inch brushes and rollers and use tiny little brushes to make things happen. This is called disguise. The other two bird pieces are pretty much in your face. This one, you don't even see the bird until you're this close up. And there it is. And that's just the way they are. This doesn't have any big emotional or political or sexual or any kind of meaning, really. It's just a bird. He knows how to place himself if he wants to hide. I think he's doing well.
So do you plan these ahead of time, or are they evolving
Plan.
as you work on them?
Well, both. I plan, and I have never in my life been able to replicate the plan. It has never worked out for me. Once I come over to this other, what it's going to be the final thing, it changes completely. This is called what happens underneath bark or something. It's branching. It falls in the wood thing. Uh,
Behind the bark.
yes, thank you, Michael. It's it's very brightly colored. It's sometimes red. We're just seeing it like this now. This, I kind of ripped off Jan Marandino, a friend of mine. I think a lot of people here know Janice Marandino, and she teaches a class sometime, and I took it, and it was about drawing trees, and I failed miserably. I mean, it was embarrassing. And this was the first lesson. So it goes on where it's not just this. I only took the one lesson. She'll love hearing this.
So
So here
you these
sorry.
for media, they are mixed media. What goes into this?
I usually start with acrylic paint, and then on top of that, I'll add casein. I'll come in with lacquer sometime, or oil-based paints. It's according to where and what. So by the time I end up with a painting, in this one, you can see maybe the gold in little bit up in the upper left in that background. Um, that cage that this bird is not in is probably a felt tip pen.
Did you start out this way, or did you evolve into using multiple materials like this?
I used to be strictly oil on canvas, and I painted that way for a long, long time. And then when we were living in Barcelona, I was painting oil on paper. It's the first time I started using paper in a real way. And then when we came here and I went into surface design in Manhattan, I had to learn how to use gouache. And
Mm.
I love gouache. I love gouache. And so, like, that bird is probably gouache. These two have a lot going on in the background that is pretty easy to see. It's so interesting to see photographs of these up close. See, there's a deer, I think, and a little sad person. Oh. So I think that my work bends heavily towards surrealism, and I've never been an abstract artist. There's enough abstraction in painting as in, I mean, that's an old kind of saying. I know you've heard it, Michael, and it's true. This is abstract.
Well,
Every
in some fashion or another.
Yes, yeah. So
But
it's never interested me to paint in that way. And I do like to tell a story.
so what are you using for references, like for the birds and stuff?
I have books, I have anything that comes my way. I have this computer that we're looking at. I can pop up anything and just steal images. I hope that that's not going to put me in prison, but it happens.
Well, it's nothing new for artists.
That's right. Someone told me at the opening that this was a scary painting. And I
Scary.
kind of, yeah, and I kind of see it now. All this white stuff that the viewer sees close up is glitter. One day I
Ah,
was painting and I went, this stupid glitter, and I threw it at this painting. And then, of course, it's painted over it. But once you put heavy glitter on something, you can never get rid of it. So there it is. This is called bird bath. These birds have the most implausible legs.
so you say you're moving away from larger pieces like this.
Yes, I had a little problem, and I can't use my arms in the same way that I have. And frankly, I got tired of putting these giant pieces of paper on the floor, working them on the floor, hoisting them up on the wall. You see one behind you here, this long
Yeah,
piece. This is coming into
I,
the next show. Um,
I
so
see.
my
Wow.
This is called How to Make a Map. The next show is about maps. I'm so excited. I think that people are more excited about what they're getting ready to do in the future than what they've done here. But look at those stupid legs on these birds. This is how I treat them with,
Why stupid?
well, because the rest of the bird kind of looks real, but if you look, those are not bird legs. They're bent at the wrong place, and you know what I'm saying? Sometimes
Yes.
legs right here, they don't come down like that. Especially this person with the knees. Anyway,
Well, it's your artistic liberty,
well, I think if I can't do some things I want to in painting, there's really no reason to paint.
right? Why bother?
Why bother? Exactly.
So can you talk a little bit about your palette? Everything has a darkness to it.
Yes, I'm not a pastel person. I like color and I use color. There was a period of about 4 or 5 years. You've shown some of this work where everything was everything was gray and silvery and very kind of Japanesey looking. I
I mean,
think
there's still a lot of color here.
yes, this is a little more color than I've used in the past. These are limbs making language. You see trees, bare trees, and you see them, and they say so many things. They have letters, they have cursive. It's amazing. So I think here I've used color and then I haven't. I think color is a cop out, and I'm very suspicious of color. And I think that it's
You mean like bright color or
well, look at this. It's just
I mean, there's a lot of color here. It's
there
it's
is a
just
lot of
different.
this
Yeah.
is a lot of color. I feel that color, because it's so emotional and it's like music. It grabs you. It does. It excites you. And I feel that I want something else to be primary in my work.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just the hue or the chroma. There's also the value, the temperature.
Mhm,
So it's moderate modulated.
exactly. This is called A Certain Time of Day. Actually, this is quite a menacing painting now that I look at it like this. And there's a little person kind of, you don't know, it could be a gnome up on the right, upper right there. Yes, right there. How cute. Um, so once again, even if you're not wanting to put little gnomes or birds in things, if you're painting along, things happen. All painters know that. Isn't that true, Michael?
Yes. So
This is
does it
called,
matter to you what the viewer gets here? Are
it's
you
up to them. You can't boss them around. They just see what they want to. They believe it. Even if you give them, sometimes even if you give them a title and a arrow going straight to it, it doesn't matter. This is just the way I'm thinking. This is called ready-made, which is kind of a riff on Duchamp. This could be a house. This could be a parasol. It's ready. So I think I'll keep on with these limb things. I'm not so interested in flowers and leaves. I'm more interested in form. And even when I painted landscapes for a long time, 54 by 66, that was my size. I loved it. I never got into the leaves too much. These are very
Hmm.
small pieces, tiny pieces. The middle one is called Bird and Woman or something like that. And it's a scary bird. Oh, that's a great picture of you in the glass. That's
Yes.
wonderful, Tina. This is an unpleasant painting. Well, not really. It's kind of funny and silly.
It's a bit it's ominous.
It's ominous, right? This is this is a thing with, oh, there's a little fence in the lower right. This you kind of can't see very well. It's wind and fence and there's some people here in the lower left and a bunch of people standing up back there. It's enjoying the breeze. Who knows what they're up to?
Yeah, these ones are under glass, so it's a little
They
trickier
are.
to
That's
see.
why we get to see Tina. This is a breeze. This is wood and breeze. Um, it's a very playful breeze. It won't last long. So I started out in Oklahoma and then went to Texas and then went to Los Angeles. And I had some training along the way, but I finished my school in Los Angeles and I also started showing in Los Angeles. This review in the the LA Times, I won't name the reviewer, she was a reviewer at the time. Every artist can remember what a reviewer has said about their work. And what she said was, despite lapses in drawing and painting, sure an emotional tone. That kind of stuck with me in a way. And then another time, a gallery that I had came to see the next show and dropped me because wasn't painting the same thing. And that was another early lesson. You can play by their rules and it's their game, or you can do it your way. And I decided to keep changing. I painted a lot of the same locale twice, like the Vatican Gardens, but I don't even paint the same way twice in a real way. And that's very, very bothersome to some people. But people who know my work, they go, I think I would know your work anywhere. So that is a positive thing for a few people to say that. And you can't please everybody, you know. So this is the Vatican Garden. It's another small piece. It's called Bubbles, I think.
Yes.
And there's birds and
Faces.
a boat and prostrated people, and there's the boat. And at the end of it, I went, oh, this is so amorphous. And then I decided to go ahead and just bubble what I wanted people to see.
Well, it's a beautiful show, Caroline.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. I enjoy showing with the Cerulean Gallery. You know I do.
And you have a book?
Oh, Amazon. This is the last one. There's two others there. And I have another one that'll probably be out before the end of the year. This is called Rules of Sculpture. That's what I majored in, sculpture. But there really aren't any rules of sculpture. Not really, only two ways of making it.
What type of book is it?
Poems, short stories, and images. All my work.
Fantastic.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's a wonderful show. It's up through June 30th. We hope people will come and see it. The work is also available on our website, ceruleanarts.com. Well, thanks again, Caroline, and thanks for being here tonight, and have a good night.
Thank you. You too.